Hello, Darren.
Hi, Darren. Last day of Christmas, Darren.
More should be made
Well,
out of the fact that Christmas is 12 days long, isn't it?
yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. It'd be more, it doesn't seem worth the effort when it's just really, in actual fact, a day or two.
It's no longer, maybe it was relevant when the 12 Days of Christmas was written, but now everyone's at work and Christmas is forgotten. Even the kids are back at school.
Yeah. I think there's loads of aspects of Christmas that I've sort of never really had, really. I don't know. You know, do they know it's Christmas?
What's that?
Thing. Do they know it's Christmas? It's a thing started by this guy Rodri on Twitter, and it's people showing pictures of their crap beds at their parents.
Right.
And it's good because he raises money for the homeless.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Via it. It became quite a phenomenon. But, you know, what? Like, again, that seems like an absolute, that thing of Christmas when you go and stay at your parents for a few days. I have never once gone home to my parents for a couple of days. I would murder them. I have no understanding of what these insaniacs do at Christmas. There's so many aspects like that of the, you know, this huge table with 13 people around it and loads of these sort of aspects of Christmas I've never experienced.
Well, my parents live here in Bolton and my sister does, so we don't have to have the staying over bit. We just go around.
Yeah.
But I was due this Christmas to have them all come here for the first time. And it would have been 9 of us. And because my sister's family got flu, so it ended up being just mum and dad. And I've got to tell you, I was looking forward to it, but God, was I relieved when it was just mum and dad.
They're not big users of YouTube. Your family is it okay to say these things?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I was slightly disappointed. I was more disappointed for my sister and her kids because they were really looking forward to coming. But you know, they were looking forward to it, but they would have gone home that evening saying, God, Darren was stressed, wasn't he? What a pain in the ass he was. Ordering us around, telling us to get out the kitchen. Oh, they dodged the bullet.
Yeah, I never have I ever cooked a Christmas dinner. And I'm pretty sure that's a skill I don't have. I mean, I can cook things. I would even say for a few things I'm not bad at, you know, if you come around to my house, I'll cook you dinner. But as soon as there's more than, you know, 3 pots involved, I do not understand how people are doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, even like a cooked breakfast, I think is far harder than cooking, say, a nice curry.
It is. Yeah. You're right. Juggling all those things, sausages or bacon, egg, toast, whatever you're having. Are you having beans? Are you being fancy and grilling a tomato? Or
Also, is a roast dinner the most overrated dinner there is? I'm not saying I haven't had a good one. I'm not saying I don't like them. But the idea of it being somehow the pinnacle of British culture is probably true, isn't it? It probably is.
In terms of British, British it is. There are better foods out there. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about roast dinner. Went on. Oh no! Look at this. This is no good. Look at my camera.
Oh, what happened there?
Mm.
We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Shadows, falling cameras, everything.
I'm not doing very well though, am I?
It's the 12th day of Christmas, and quite frankly, Darren, everyone's had enough. Even your fancy camera tripod, which we all know by now is actually a music stand.
Yeah.
You don't even read music. It's all fake and
can you
botched.
read music?
Can I read music? Yes, I used to be able to sight read it. Yeah.
I can read it after a fashion. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
If somebody gives me something and says, play this, I'll say, well, I can play it tomorrow if I go home and have a think. I can't
That's
play
good. I didn't know you could read. So you can read like the notes, you know what they are and that.
I know the language, I know what everything means, but I can't see it and feel it. It doesn't correlate to my hands.
Yeah,
I can't music and then glance my hands across the piano. But I have had to score things before.
Right, yeah. So that's a good way of learning it.
Yeah.
I used to be able to just pick up music, pick up my bass, and just play it. Could only sight read bass music.
Right.
It's one string at a time, one note at a time.
Yes. Because when they notate pianos and it's notating out chords, that's something else, isn't it?
Yeah. But I've just seen what you're drawing, and I'm very much in favour of that.
Yeah, I mean, presumably, it was revealed to everyone all of a sudden. I have no idea when the camera drooped.
No.
I hope it was the entire beginning of it. I hope it was a really long time that it was drooped.
So you're drawing is it an Eagle transporter?
Well, this actually is a toy I had.
Yeah, I had one of them.
And it was from Dinky.
Yes, that's right.
But this actually was the Eagle Freighter.
The Freighter, that's it.
The Eagle Transporter, I think, was the slightly more common, and dare I say, a little bit sexier one, so they had this section here.
Yeah.
I'm still drooping. I can tell that's moved since I last did it. This section here was like a pod, not unlike like the middle section of Thunderbird 2 or something.
Right.
But this section could be different things. And on this one, it had little yellow sort of, I don't know, canisters, which were bright yellow. Right.
Yeah.
And, looked to be holding something radioactive and dangerous.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the more common Eagle had a like a transporter, and was so called the Eagle Transporter because it had a little thing you could sit in, like took people.
Right.
It was more like a bus section.
Well, I also had that Freighter then. That was the one I had.
You had the one with these little canisters in it, did you?
Yeah. Can you remember what you could do with the canisters?
Is there a little winch now? I'm thinking there's a thing here in this picture which I can't make out. Here. It
was magnetic.
Yeah, it was magnetic. And did it have a little thing with a piece of string that you could lower them?
Yeah, you could lower them and pick them up again. They had little metal tabs on the top of these canisters that the magnet would grab hold of. So you could be moving, you could be busy being a space work person, moving stuff around.
And what else can you remember about the program itself?
Oh, big jelly monsters. Because I had a novelization of one of the episodes.
Oh,
the monsters were these big jelly monsters.
I
And
think
it turned out they were imagining them. They were kind of seeing what their worst fears would show them.
right. So, for those that don't remember, the program had a preposterous premise, which was that they were on the moon on Moonbase Alpha, and some incredible explosion or mishap. I can't quite remember how it happened in the. Sent the moon flying through space.
Yeah.
Can you still see me?
Yeah. Oh, you just got to portrait format now.
No, this is because someone was trying to. I'm really not having the best luck today, am I? This is because someone tried to phone me, and obviously you're more important than them.
I want some comments on this video, viewers. Tell us how much you're enjoying Darren's troubles.
I think for me, I'm being quite. Are you drinking
coffee?
I've got a new coffee machine. I've got a new coffee machine.
I've stopped drinking. Oh, have you?
You've stopped drinking?
Well, at home, yeah. Stop drinking at home. Yeah. And I'm on decaf. It's all started off to be doctor's orders, and now it's my own choice. Oh yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so Moonbase Alpha gets sent flying through space, and they're trying to get back home. I think is the idea, isn't it?
That's basically almost every sci-fi series trying to get back. Battlestar Galactica, kind of Star Trek. They were on a mission. No, they weren't trying to get back home, but similar. Buck Rogers, it was wanted to find a way back to his own century, never did. Yeah, they were trying to get back to Earth.
It was Jerry Anderson, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So it was Jerry Anderson's only, or
no,
or very uncommon attempt to do something without puppets, because obviously what Jerry Anderson is most famous for is Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and Joe 90.
That's right. I believe UFO came before.
Okay, and that is also live action, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
How mad was that? The whole Jerry Anderson thing. The whole making science fiction with puppets. That's really weird, isn't it, looking back on it?
I guess it is, and it wasn't. I mean, it was a kids' show, wasn't it? Thunderbirds was a kids' show.
Thunderbirds was a kids' show. Was Space 1999 less of a kids' show, do you think?
Yes, some of it, but it was still. Kids would watch it. It was often on like Sunday afternoons and things like that.
Well, I mean, I suppose I'm drawing a toy, so I suppose that proves it.
Yeah. Well, it was quite frightening for kids. And I know that's fine, the kids kind of like frightening things.
I also feel like the storytelling might have been a bit more advanced than other sort of Thunderbirds, Joe 90 type thing. I was thinking it might have had a bit more of a sort of Star Trek kind of.
Yeah, it did.
Science fiction ideas in one. Oh, we've gone to this planet. They nearly always go to a pleasure planet at some point, don't they?
Always. That's the episode for the dads.
Stay as long as you like, Captain. At the pleasure planet. Everything is free here. This is paradise.
Nothing's ever free. Nothing's ever free, Darren.
Somehow, all is not as it seems.
Yeah.
Something is rotten at the heart of paradise. Doctor Who often does that as well, doesn't it?
Does it?
Here we have no need for wars anymore, Doctor. I've got a funny feeling about this place, Sarah Jane. Don't mind me, I'm just acting out my own storylines now.
It's fine. I mean, we talked about this in the last video. When did we stop acting out our own things, and now you're doing it? It's lovely to hear. Yes, I think Space 99. I've not seen much of it since I was a kid. I briefly saw the end of one episode a few months ago, and it looked great. And I would like to see
My
it
memory
again.
is that it looked pretty good. They had a very distinctive uniforms, didn't they? That were white.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
and they had different colour
cool.
sleeve for whatever department they were in. Yeah. So, like, if you were in menswear, you had a blue thing, and if you were in lingerie, you had a, My other memory is of Space 1999. I mean, this is where my favourite person in the world would go. How do you remember this stuff?
Right.
Aren't men weird that they can remember this stuff? And they can, because I don't in any way consider myself to be a Space 1999 uber fan. And yet I'm going to say something now which is going to sound like I read Space 1999 monthly last night.
Right.
But I think it only lasted for 2 series.
That's right. Yeah, it did.
But my memory is that the second series is quite considerably jazzed up from the first series. They had a big shake-up with the cast.
Right.
And they had this new character in it who could change into things.
Yes, that was the woman.
It was, I think her character name was The Woman, yes.
I don't know, okay. I don't know what she was called.
I also do not know what she was called.
Was she Russian?
Well, no, I think she was an alien, but I presume you're referring to
the actress. She wasn't English. She was very exotic, quite striking looking. She may have been Italian, because Space 1999 was an Italian co-production.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is, I mean, if your favourite person in the world was here now, she'd be saying the exact same thing to me. Like, how the hell do you know this?
Yeah.
Having only seen it when I was a child, really. I won't find an actress.
And why does this information stay in your head when you still can't remember how to make risotto or something?
Yes, exactly. The actress was Catherine Schell, and she was Hungarian. A Hungarian born.
Yeah, and it was that kind of that sort of Star Trek kind of alien thing where they didn't have much money, so they basically made you an alien by putting something on your forehead or doing something to your eyebrows. And in this particular case, they just did something to her eyebrows, didn't they?
That's right, they did.
They made her eyebrows they kind of basically bedazzled her eyebrows, didn't they? Did those sticky-on things onto her eyebrow.
Yeah.
And I also particularly remember how they did a transformation where they did this zoom into her eye. And then within her eye, you saw the image of what she was going to change into. So it would be like a...
Right, so she's imagining it.
And then the camera would zoom out and she would be a cat or whatever. It was quite a clever budget saver.
It was a good show. Well, I say again, I keep saying it was a good show after only remembering like one episode.
I really remember this toy though. I mean, for a few days now, I've been doing toys I wish I owned or toys my mates had, and I'm quite glad on the last one. So we both had the same one. Did you have a green one?
Yeah, I had that. I had that toy.
Okay. Wow, amazing. I'm very pleased with my choice then.
Yeah, it's good. It takes me back. I can really remember winching these barrels up and lowering them elsewhere. You know, you'd move across the carpet or the kitchen table and drop them off somewhere else.
To help me find this picture, I've obviously been perusing some eBay pages.
Right.
And
and you've bought one.
Well, you'd be wanting 400 quid to get one of these now.
What?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it probably depends, doesn't it? I only saw that flash across my screen, and it might be that it was boxed or something, or I don't know. You can't think like that anyway. You can't think like,
I wouldn't.
That way madness lies.
Yeah.
They really are the fucking losers. The people with this in a box, they haven't lived.
Well, again, they won't have the memories of it that we have about actually playing it, and they may not even know that those canisters can be winched up and down.
I tell you what, I do wonder about Christmas toys sometimes. I really do wonder where they go.
Oh God, yeah.
And God bless her, when my mum does go, I think I've quite often had this idea that there's going to be tons of this stuff is going to turn up, in the loft, in the big house clearance.
Wouldn't hold your breath.
I wouldn't hold my breath either.
When my mum and dad moved about 10 years ago, nothing left.
Yeah, and is the truth of it just that when we left home one afternoon, mum and dad went, right, let's get rid of all this shit. That's the truth of it, isn't it?
Well, I think some of it, when you were a kid and you didn't know.
Yeah.
I think when you're a teenager and stuff just gets thrown out and you don't really ever think to look for it. It's just gone.
Our old friend, Prussian blue for the shadows.
Again. So, in our last video, I think it was the last one you mentioned. Sure, you mentioned it on video about there's a point in your life where suddenly socks are no longer a really bad Christmas present.
It was Andrew Mail on Twitter.
Right.
Said it last Christmas, and I thought it's true. He said there's an age when socks go from being the worst present to the best present.
Yeah. So I thought I would draw for my last toy of Christmas, not a toy anymore, but adult Christmas presents. And I don't mean of the Ann Summers variety, or anyone sniggers, although that would usually be me. It's stuff you get as a grown-up that
I am I am sort of a little bit upset that you haven't drawn that butt plug I sent you this year.
Still in its packaging. Going to be a vintage butt plug in 30 years' time.
Still in its packaging. Never heard it called that before.
Well, I'm loath to say it's still in the box, but I've said it. Hey, we're grown-ups. It's fine. So yeah, I'm drawing a pair of socks. These socks I got last Christmas. I've still not worn them.
Ooh.
Because I got loads of pairs. I think I got 10, maybe 15 pairs. So I deliberately just put some in the cupboard to save.
What's the most expensive pair of socks you've ever owned?
These community clothing ones from Blackburn.
And what do they come in at?
Oh, not that expensive, like £9.
I once got for Christmas off of a girlfriend's mum £70 Cashmere sock.
Wow. That's going some.
Yeah. The thing is, I was so nervous of wearing them, I never wore them and put them in a drawer, and then the moths got them.
Oh no.
I think it was about right. I think we all know I am not the sort of person that should have £70 socks, don't we?
Yeah. No. So I've drawn this pair of socks, a wheel, a small wheel of children lime cheddar cheese that my sister got me this year, and a bottle of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Now, although I said I've stopped drinking at home, I can drink that.
Have we even asked each other what we got for Christmas this year? Have you told me? Have we done that? Messages?
Yes, I think was it off camera? It may have been off camera. I got very practical stuff. Oh, I'll tell you what I did get, Darren. What I did get. The complete Carry On collection on DVD. Which I'm very excited about because I used to have them all on VHS.
Does it have the...
I know what you're going to say. Does it have Carry On Columbus?
Well, actually, you're right. Instinctively, that was going to be my question. And then I thought that question was too obvious. And so I was going to sort of try and think of another sort of curate's egg contribution to the Carry On canon. And I was thinking of this. I don't even know if it is officially a Carry On movie, but Carry On Emmanuel.
Yes, that's the final Carry On film. Unless you count Columbus.
Unless you count Columbus.
Yeah. And I must admit, I do count Columbus because it was still produced by Peter Rogers. I think it is a Carry On film. Many would disagree. But it's in the official Carry On guide. So, yeah. There is another one.
It's got Jim Dale in it, isn't it?
Jim Dale's in it as well, and Bernard Cribbins is in it. Yeah. So it's got those connections. There is one film made by the Carry On team in terms of the
oh my god, I'm having a nightmare here. I've got to go get some blood paper. Fuck these boosters. Look at them. Look what mess of booster rockets.
Oh, their boosters up. Looks like fire. Look at it. Flames coming out.
You're telling me there is a film made by the Carry On people.
Yes. It's same director, same producer, same scriptwriter. Sid James in it. A lot of the Terry Scott. And that's the movie of Bless This House.
Ah.
And most Carry On fans will say it's a kind of an unofficial Carry On film. It feels like a Carry On film. It's got most of the same cast and that. It's very good. It's really good in it. Robin Asquith is in it. He's very good in that one. People love that.
Is Robin Asquith in some other Carry-Ons?
He's in Carry On Girls.
Right.
Which is also a good one. Don't trust whatever the Radio Times or something might say.
What's the best one?
Can I say what's my favourite? Or is it the same thing? It's going to be the time, yeah.
I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
Same thing. Well, for me, it is Carry On at Your Convenience.
Right, yeah.
In the Toilet Factory.
Carry On at the Khyber has quite a big following, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Rightly so. It's very good. Carry On Screaming does as well. And I love Carry On Screaming. And Harry H. Corbett is really good in it. However, he's only in it because Sid James couldn't do it. And I'm afraid that if it's not got Sid James in it, to me, it can't ever be the best.
There's nobody who was in all of them, is there? I mean, everyone has a time out at some point, don't they?
Oh, was Kenneth Williams missed one, I think. I think Kenneth Williams was in all but one.
Right.
He's not in Up the Jungle.
My friend David Lynch
Yes, yeah.
I have a friend called Dave Lynch who has cropped up here before. He once won a competition because at the Barbican they were showing all of the Carry On movies, and he won a competition to tickets to all of them and a year's supply of peanuts.
Did he go to see all of them?
No, of course he didn't. But we did go to a couple. I remember seeing Carry On Cowboy at the cinema with him.
That's fun. That's a fun one. The classic line. Sid gets his gun out. John Sims says, "Oh my, that's a big one." Sid says, "I'm from Texas, man. We all got big ones up there." Very Carry On. What did you get for Christmas?
I got a coffee machine.
Right, you mentioned, yeah. That's very fancy.
Yeah. It's to replace one that broke, and I think time will tell. I think it takes you a little while with a new coffee machine to learn your amounts and to get the gist of it. So
it's not one of these pod things. You're putting like beans.
No, I mean, I'm sort of a bit, aren't we supposed to, I always feel they look a bit wasteful.
I agree. I think they are wasteful.
Bad, but you're having a plastic thing for each cup of coffee.
Yeah,
no, so I grind my beans.
Right. We're back on Carry On films here.
Yeah. I've sort of smudged the red around the booster here, but I'm trying to tell myself it just looks like a bit of smoke because it's just landed.
Yeah, it's all right.
I still want to titivate here, though.
Did you enjoy your Christmas Day this year?
I like that my sister has 3 kids who are between 22 and 15, and they're just about young enough to make something out of it.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. And I really love my sister, but families, glad to do it. Glad to go there. Glad to be away. And in fact, today is one of the first days where I've truly sort of had time on my own. There's something after a few days of Christmas where you really, to remind people we're not actually on the 12th day of Christmas. We're actually on December the 29th today, aren't we?
That's correct.
But I go to Spain for the New Year. I go to Santiago de Compostela to celebrate the New Year,
which is pretty good.
I think so. Yeah.
What's do we know what Compostela is Spanish for? What's the English translation?
No, I don't.
I feel like it's going to be doesn't literally translate to compost, does it?
No, I don't think so. It's a very holy place. I think it would have a very holy meaning.
Right. Oh, is that is there a pilgrimage there?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You go. I've been there before. Played a show there actually. You sort of go to the cathedral and sit outside it and just watch very tired religious people driving.
They've walked all that way there.
Yeah.
For days and days and days. Well, we talked last episode about the place the church has in some people's lives, and there's a good example of it.
Oh yeah,
giving them some purpose.
And the cathedrals in Spain. I mean, as you know, I think I showed a lot of the ones I painted, and I'll take my paints. Maybe we might get to do a Brentwood touch from there, but I'm not on my own this time, so possibly not.
No. Well, hope you have a good trip.
Actually, but that's a nice painting. I like that.
I think we've done well.
Have you finished?
I've finished.
I might still have to tidy up this back end a little bit. Oh! Happy New Year, Darren.
Happy New Year, Darren.